YukiExcluded. Today we're going to be talking about idol cafes and how we make them. So I have a guest today. What's your name?
I'm Michelle. Hello, nice to meet you.
And she's a professional. She's made her own idol cafe. So I'm going to ask her a few questions and hopefully we're going to help you make your own, okay? So let's start easy for everyone that doesn't know. What is an idol cafe and how long does it usually last?
People go to cafes and get really pretty cup holders, and usually the cafes are held in celebration of idol birthdays or idol anniversaries, or even idols being discharged from the military. For various reasons like that, people will decorate cafes and design cup holders. People will go and take pictures, and sometimes the idols visit if you get lucky. But yeah, they're a really fun way to meet with fans and, you know, kind of show off your support for the idol or group that you support.
What cafe did you make? Which idol group?
So I really like a.c.e. Everyone go check out a.c.e. new comeback. Came out September 2nd, thank you. I like a.c.e. and I run a photo account for a.c.e. So I did a cafe for their anniversary. The cafe I did, I had a lot of free reign, so I did a lot of like floral embellishments, and I tried to use different kinds of photos that would match that.
Okay, now let's talk about how we actually make the cafe. How do you go about picking a location, and does it cost a lot of money to do it?
Generally, when you're picking dates for your cafe, you want to have it around the specific event, like the specific day that you are planning for. So if it's an idol's birthday or an idol's anniversary, idol group anniversary, generally you want to have the cafe within a few days of it. So when I did my own cafe, I had it a couple days before and a couple days after. Generally cafes run for between 3 to 5 days. Some of them can run as quickly as 1 or 2, or as long as like a whole week, but generally the average is about 3 to 5 days. The cost will depend on where you want to do it. If you want to have it in a more rich area, rich quote-unquote area of Seoul, you're going to have to be prepared to pay a little bit. Originally, I wanted to do my cafe in Gangnam, but Gangnam, all the cafes, you have to pay some sort of fee. Generally, you actually get the money back, but the initial fee can be quite expensive. I actually did my cafe near Hongdae, in a place called Mangwon, and it was free, which was really nice. So yeah, it depends on the location of where you want to do it. It could cost money and it could be free.
How long does it take you to make the cafe?
It depends on the person. One of my friends also did a cafe, and it took her a good couple months to plan. Generally, when you're reserving a cafe, you want to reserve it a couple months in advance, but there are some cafes that you have to do it within a month, but that's really scary. Also, when you want to order things, the cup holders specifically take a couple weeks to, when you place your order, for them to be made, to arrive, so you definitely want to have at least 2 months, I would say, to start prepping things in advance. Because you have to think about the photos you want to use, the decorations you want to use, the kind of cup holder that you want. Honestly, leading up to like the last week, you know, before the cafe, I was picking out photos because there was, you know, sometimes I ordered something and didn't like it, so I ordered something else. Or I was like, oh, I want to use this photo, and stuff like that.
How do you fund it? Do you fund it yourself? Is this usually with a group of friends? Do you do supports for it?
Money! That's my favorite question! For the cafe, I funded it myself. But a lot of fan sites will raise money through donations, or they sell things to help fund that. So last year, I actually did a slogan order, so I made the money through the slogan order, and I funded an ad for one of the a.c.e. members' birthdays through that. But this year, for the cafe specifically, I did that out of my own money.
Is it more normal for a fan site to do it themselves?
Yes.
Or
most fan sites, either they'll do it as a collaboration. Some fan sites will do it on their own, but most of the time they will pay out of pocket for cafes. I would say for my cafe, I spent under $200, I think.
Do you make any money off of cafes?
God, I wish I made money off the cafe. Could quit my job, I'll just go run cafes full time. No, advertisements, cafes, most of the stuff that fan sites do, we don't make money off of any of it. It's a very expensive hobby that we have.
Yeah, we'll make another video on fan sites, and she might come back, so we'll see. What are some essentials that you need for a cafe?
You definitely want some pictures of, you know, the idols that you will be supporting, and you don't necessarily have to take these photos yourself. There are cafes who just use selfies or official photos, so you don't have to take your own photos. You don't have to be a fan site to run a cafe. Like, those do not go hand in hand. a lot of cafes, most cafes, 99% of cafes I would say, have a special gift to go along with this cup holder. When I did my cafe, I had a photo card set and a pin button. It can be as simple as that, or you can go extravagant if you want. I've gotten mugs at cafe events, fans, cookies, I've gotten like various things.
Do you want to show your cup sleeve?
Yes!
That we had?
Ta-da! This is my cup holder. Again, another example of you do not need to be a fan site and take your own photos for cafe events because this is a selfie.
Yeah, see, it all works out.
Yes.
So you mentioned that you need a lot of pictures, you need a lot of prints and things like that. Where do you order them?
There are various sites that you can order from. Most of them are in Korean or Korea based, so you definitely want to pull out that Papago translator if you don't understand any of it. I can't name them off the top of my head, but we'll link them down in the video below. I'll link to some sites that I used personally.
How do you promote your event? Do you go on Twitter? Is there special apps people can look at?
Mostly SNS. A lot of them will have special hashtags that they will use to promote their events. And also they use that hashtag to track people who have come visited to their cafe in order to see how many people came and also maybe draw winners for any event that they have done. So I would say number one is social media and maybe word of mouth. Ask your friend, hey, you want to go to my cafe? Cool, awesome.
And in case you're not close to anybody else that's a fan site like her, there is an app recently, I think it's called Dokju, where if you go on it, there are different groups that you can click on and you can look at the cafes in the nearby area. So that's a good resource for all of you.
Yes, we can link it down too.
It's finally D-Day. What do you do when the cafe starts? Are you there 24/7? Does it run itself?
So before the cafe, you definitely need to talk to the owner of the cafe or whoever's helping you, you know, communicate with the cafe owner about when you can come in to decorate. So some of them, they want you to come in the day of. Some of them will have you come in the day before. You just have to make sure that you know when you can come in to decorate. For example, when I did it, we communicated that I would come in the night before to decorate everything, like close to closing time, around that time. You can just decorate and go if you want to. And it makes it, you know, especially for overseas fans who can't be there the entire time, you know, it's nice that you don't have to be there. And also, it's Korea, nothing's gonna get stolen.
You're not wrong. How do you feel once you're finally taking everything down?
Oh my god, it's such a stress relief, honestly. Like, taking down everything. Like, it's a little sad, like, you know, taking down everything because you've been staring at those photos and you're so proud of your work and you have to take it down. But man, cafes can get really stressful.
Absolutely.
And for me, a lot of my stress came from, not necessarily from everything arriving on time, because if you order everything early enough, you won't have to worry about that.
No stress.
Yeah, my stress is more like, how will it be received? How will it look like when I decorate? But yeah, it's very stress relieving to finally be done and finished. Take everything down.
Would you make another cafe?
You know, that's like a really far in the future, so I'm not thinking about it. But yeah, I would do another cafe. It's way cheaper than an advertisement, so...
That is a true fact, actually.
And I get the chance to show off the pictures I take, so, you know, no flex or anything. You know, this is a humble brag, you know, I gotta take some okay pictures.
Alright, is there anything else you want to add about creating a cafe or going to visit one?
When you're going to a cafe, like, as a visitor, just be respectful of everything. Honestly, that just goes for real life advice too. Just be respectful. You know, golden rule. Treat others like you would treat yourself, sort of thing.
Don't steal things.
Please. Yeah, don't steal things. Like, don't, you know, the decorations and stuff are not up for grabs. The albums that they display usually are not up for grabs. If the things are for taking, and they will usually have a sign that says, you know, you can take this, it's free. And for making a cafe, it may seem scary, but it's really not that hard. It's, you know, the process of actually reserving a cafe is actually pretty simple. All you have to do is, like, contact the cafe via Instagram or call them. If you don't know Korean very well, I would definitely ask, like, someone who does know Korean a little better, or, like, you have a Korean friend, call them for you. It's super easy to, like, you know, order everything and decorate everything. So don't be afraid to do it. Just do it. It's fun. I enjoyed it. It's cool. Really important piece of advice. Don't expect the idols to come.
Yes.
Because, you know, if you go into that mindset of, I'm doing this just so that my idol can come to the cafe, you're going to be really disappointed.
And it's never anything personal either. Sometimes their schedules just don't align. They physically aren't allowed to go to certain places. So it's just, do this because you love them and you want to support them. That's it.
Yeah, and cafes and advertisements especially are more for the fans so than the group. Like, it's for promoting the group, it's for creating a camaraderie with fans, it's for just showing that you care. And a lot of like the idols will see that on social media. That's not like they don't know that your cafe exists or anything, especially if they look through hashtags and stuff. So definitely one of the biggest pieces of advice is just don't, you know, expect the idol to come. That sounds really pessimistic, but like, you know.
Like, do this for the right reasons, really.
Yeah.
That's all of the questions we have today. Thank you so much for coming. I know, even though I'm at your house, but it's fine. Is there anything you want to plug? Any social media, things like that?
Guys, anyways, as I said before, Ace had a comeback on September 2nd. It's called Dokibi Favorite Boys. Definitely watch it a lot. Give it a lot of love. It's a good song. Yeah.
And that's it, okay? I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!